Every year, parents spend thousands buying the most carefully chosen toys, the most beautifully designed nurseries, the most recommended apps, all trying to give their baby the best possible start in life. And here's what the science quietly says about almost all of it. None of it comes close to what you can do in 5 minutes a day, with nothing, no equipment, no program, no special training. Neuroscientists at Harvard have spent decades studying what actually builds a baby's brain in the earliest months of life. And what they found is so simple, so accessible, and so completely free that most parents walk past 100 times a day without ever realizing what they are missing. Today I am going to show you exactly what it is. And by the end of this video, you will never look at an ordinary moment with your baby the same way again. Here is what is happening inside your baby's brain right now that makes the next few minutes so important. From birth, your baby's brain is forming up to 1 million new neural connections every single second. But here's what most parents do not know. Those connections are not built by what your baby passively absorbs. They are built by interaction, by exchange, by the back and forth of a responsive relationship with you. The Harvard Center on the Developing Child describes a concept called serve and return. The idea that when a baby sends out a signal, a sound, a glance, a reach, and a caregiver responds warmly and consistently, that tiny exchange physically builds brain architecture. Millions of connections, firing and strengthening, from something as simple as a smile answered with a smile. Research led at MIT found that what predicted a child's language and cognitive development most powerfully was not the number of words they heard. It was the number of back-and-forth conversational turns with a caregiver. Not talking near your baby, talking with them. That distinction changes everything. But here is the honest challenge. Most parents miss these signals, not because they do not love their baby deeply, but because nobody ever showed them what to look for. These serves happen in split seconds. A soft sound, a brief glance at the ceiling fan, a tiny hand lifted toward a passing shadow. They are quiet, they are fast, and they are happening approximately 100 times every hour. And the gap between noticing and not noticing, between responding and moving on, is the gap between building and missing the most important developmental window your child will ever have. The good news? Once you know what to look for, you cannot unsee it, and everything changes. So let us walk through exactly what this looks like, month by month, starting from the very first days of life. In months 0 to 2, your baby's brain is hungry for two things above everything else: safety and sensation. This is the phase of bonding and sensory awakening. And the habits that matter most here are beautifully simple. Skin to skin. Hold your baby against your bare chest, not just because it feels good, though it does, but because research confirms it measurably lowers their cortisol levels, stabilizes their heart rate, and directly supports healthy neural development. 5 minutes of skin-to-skin contact is one of the most neurologically powerful things you can do for a newborn brain. No equipment required. Just you, eye contact from 8 to 12 inches. That is your baby's entire visual world in the first weeks of life. When you hold them at that distance and look directly into their eyes, you are stimulating the visual cortex at precisely the range it is designed to receive. Stare into their eyes. Let them stare back. That gaze is a brain-building event. Narrate your day out loud, not in simplified baby talk, in full, warm, descriptive sentences. I am folding the yellow blanket now. It is soft. Can you smell it? Every word you speak in your natural melodic voice is building language pathways in a brain that is wiring itself to sound. You do not need a curriculum. You just need to talk. Copycat faces. Stick out your tongue. Open your mouth wide. Raise your eyebrows. And wait. Research confirms that even in the earliest weeks, babies have mirror neurons that fire in response to facial expressions. And when they copy you back, they are practicing the very first form of social communication they will ever have. Mini tummy time. Even 30 seconds draped across your lap on their stomach is enough in the early weeks. Each moment builds the neck and core muscles your baby needs for every developmental milestone that follows. By months 3 and 4, something remarkable is happening. Your baby is waking up to the world in a new way. Their eyes are tracking. Their hands are reaching. Their responses are faster and more deliberate. And the habits that build their brain in this phase shift accordingly. Read for 5 minutes daily. Not to teach them to read. They are 3 months old. But because high-contrast images and the rhythm of a human voice reading aloud builds focus, auditory memory, and the neural foundations of language simultaneously. Point at the pictures. Name the colors. Watch their eyes follow your finger. Track the toy. Take a bright object, a red ball, a yellow rattle, and move it slowly from left to right across their field of vision. That smooth pursuit of a moving object is training the visual tracking system that underpins reading, writing, and coordination later in life. Do it for 2 minutes. Do it daily. Texture touch test. Take a piece of silk, a square of wool, a soft cotton muslin. Run each one slowly across your baby's palm. Watch their face shift as the sensation changes. Each texture is firing a unique sensory pathway, building the brain's map of the physical world from the most sensitive point of contact on their entire body. Mirror play. Hold your baby in front of a mirror and let them look at their own reflection. That moment of recognition, or the beginning of it, is the foundation of self-awareness and social-emotional development. Point to their face in the mirror. Point to yours. Name what you both see. Sing the same rhyme repeatedly. The repetition is not boring to your baby. It is essential. Their brain is building a memory of the pattern, the rhythm, the melody, the sequence of sounds. That memory is also the beginning of how language and anticipation develop. At months 5 and 6, your baby is beginning to communicate with genuine intention. They are babbling with purpose. They are expecting responses. They are becoming, unmistakably, a conversationalist. Echo and expand. When your baby says, ba, 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 say it back. Then add to it, ba. Yes, ball. That is your red ball. You are not correcting them. You are building a bridge between the sound they can make and the language they are reaching toward. This single habit has been linked to faster vocabulary acquisition in multiple studies. Sound hunt. Shake a rattle just out of their line of sight. To the left, to the right, above. Watch them turn their head to locate it. That head turn is not just adorable. It is their brain mapping sound in three-dimensional space. It is spatial awareness being built in real time. From a rattle, in 2 minutes. Count the fingers. Take each tiny finger and toe gently between yours and count aloud as you squeeze them. 1, 2, 3. Your baby does not understand numbers yet, but their brain is beginning to encode sequence, rhythm, and the concept of one thing following another, which is the foundation of every mathematical concept they will ever learn. From 7 months onward, your baby's brain enters one of its most critical phases, the development of logic, problem-solving, and emotional intelligence. And the habits here are the ones that will shape the person they are becoming. The disappearing toy. Place your baby's favorite toy in front of them. Let them reach for it. Then cover it with a cloth while they watch. And wait. The moment they look for it, reach under the cloth. Push the cloth aside. This moment, a concept called object permanence is emerging. The understanding that things continue to exist even when they cannot be seen. It sounds simple. It is one of the most significant cognitive leaps in all of early development. Name that feeling. When your baby cries, say, "You're feeling frustrated right now." When they laugh, say, "You are so happy." When they reach for you anxiously, say, "You wanted me. I am here. You are safe." Research on emotional labeling shows that naming emotions activates the prefrontal cortex and reduces the intensity of the emotional response. You are not just describing their feelings. You are literally building their emotional brain. Here is what I want you to take from everything we have covered today. You do not need a curriculum. You do not need an app, a flashcard, a program, or a perfectly curated toy. The most powerful brain-building tool your baby has access to in the first year of their life is something that cannot be purchased, downloaded, or delivered to your door. It is you, paying attention, responding, showing up to the tiny signals they send all day long. The glance at the window, the sound they make when the dog walks past, the hand lifted toward nothing in particular. Every one of those moments is a serve. And every time you return it, even imperfectly, even with one word, even with a simple warm smile, you are completing a loop that writes itself into the permanent architecture of your child's developing brain. 5 minutes a day, spread across the ordinary moments that are already happening whether you notice them or not. nappy changes, feeds, the walk to the kitchen, the moment before sleep. You are not being asked to add something new to an already overwhelming day. You are being asked to be more present in the moments that are already yours. Phase 1, sense and bond. Phase 2, track and touch. Phase 3, echo and listen. Phase 4, hide, name, and feel. That is the entire blueprint. Simple enough to start today. Powerful enough to shape a mind for life. If this video gave you something you will actually use today, share it with a parent who needs to hear it. Because somewhere right now, a baby is sending a signal that nobody taught their parent to recognize. Drop in the comments, which phase are you in right now? I want to know. And subscribe. Because every week we go this deep into the science of your baby's developing mind. I will see you in the next one.